So Alberta's teachers went on strike, and Danielle Smith did something a little controversial. She used the notwithstanding clause to force them to go back to work. And good! That is exactly what a leader should do. My only criticism is that she didn't do it sooner, because this wasn't about education, it wasn't about kids or classrooms. It was about politics. The Alberta Teachers Union has never acted like a union. It's always been a political arm of the NDP. Their leader, Nashi Nenshi, was collapsing in the polls. So they needed a distraction, something that makes conservatives look cruel and themselves look compassionate. So they manufactured a crisis, fed it to the media, and called it a strike. Now, let's look at what they actually claimed, because that is where the mask slips. They claim teachers are underpaid and classrooms are overcrowded, but those problems come from Ottawa, not Edmonton. Mass immigration policies are overloading schools. Money printing is devaluing paychecks and driving up cost. Those are federal failures, not provincial ones. So why aren't they protesting on Parliament Hill? Why are they protesting at the Alberta legislature instead? Because this isn't about solving problems, it's about creating them. It's political theater, using teachers and students as pawns to make the NDP look good and smear conservatives. The union isn't fighting for education, it's fighting for power. And here's the kicker, the UCP offered a solid deal. Pay raises, more teachers, smaller classes. And they still said no. They walked away from a great offer and from their own students. That tells you everything you need to know. And now we know just how far they were willing to go. The Alberta Teachers Union wasn't just asking for a raise or better conditions. Their demands would have meant an extra $2 billion in spending on top of the $2.6 billion the government already set aside to end the strike. That is $4.6 billion total. And let's be real, the money has to come from somewhere. It means more debt or higher taxes. There is no magic money tree sitting in Edmonton, and the union knows that. They knew the province can't just print cash or jack up taxes without hurting families. They still brought those demands forward anyways. Because it wasn't about getting a deal, it was about setting the UCP up to fail. And here's the truth nobody wants to say. The public sector should not have unions. If your salary depends on the taxpayer, you are not entitled to one. That's immoral. Unions are meant for the private sector, not for government workers who are already funded by the public. Because when public sector unions strike, they're not striking against a company. They're striking against the very people who pay them. That's not collective bargaining, that's collective blackmail. And the NDP knows it. They know every day of chaos, every closed classroom, every angry parent, it all helps them. They get the headlines, they get the sympathy, they get to paint the UCP as villains, while families pay the price. The NDP wins politically, and everyone else loses. And that's what makes this so disgusting, because this isn't just about politics. This is people's lives. Every single day, kids sit at home, falling behind. A 6-year-old who just learned how to read forgets half of it. A high school student misses lessons they need to graduate. Parents are scrambling for childcare, missing work, burning through savings just to keep their homes together. And the people causing it all are the ones calling you selfish for wanting schools open. That is who the NDP and the teachers' unions really are. The elites, the establishment who use regular families as collateral for their politics. They talk about compassion, but they're stealing children's education to boost their own popularity. They don't care who gets hurt, as long as the cameras keep rolling and the polls move. Danielle Smith was right to step in. She stood up to a corrupt partisan machine that forgot who it works for. And she's not the first one to do it. Mike Harris, Premier of Ontario, in the 90s and early 2000s, faced the same thing. Teachers went on strike. He made it illegal to strike and forced them to go back to work. He stood with the taxpayers, not the unions. Smith did the same. And we need more leaders like her and Harris in this country. People who remember who they serve and who they don't.